So the way I've seen him handle my presence is he's definitely scared of me. You know, if you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money.
I feel like Canelo's a that's just my opinion, because if we ever fight, the man is making well over $100 million, you know what I mean? If, let's say, he's saying that I don't have nothing to offer, that I'm nobody, that I need more experience, this and that. If you're gonna make $100 million fighting somebody that has no experience, that he sucks, this and that, all this shit that they've been talking about me, why would you not come beat my ass and collect a big bag on my head after the fight?
I get why Canelo, you know, was like, I don't need to fight this dude because, you know, one, he can take a punch, he gonna come in there and gonna just lay on you and bulldoze you, you know.
Right.
And Canelo just didn't want that, you know what I mean, work. But
I always give all his credit, no, but we need to run it back. That's why my tough. When after the fight, I say we need to run it back this fight because I don't feel the way I really want, and I need to.
David Benavidez has once again turned up the pressure on Canelo Alvarez, publicly criticizing the Mexican superstar during a recent interview and accusing him of avoiding their long-discussed showdown. Benavidez did not mince words, insisting that the reason Canelo refuses to face him is straightforward. In his view, Canelo does not want to deal with the challenge he presents. Benavidez also questioned reports that Canelo allegedly passed on a $150 million offer to make the fight happen while continuing to face opponents many fans view as less threatening. The situation has only intensified debate throughout the boxing community. While Canelo continues to take lucrative fights that generate enormous revenue, many supporters remain puzzled by the idea that such a massive offer was reportedly rejected, leaving the long-awaited matchup no closer to becoming reality.
That's why I'm scared of me, man.
There's no way.
They wanted to pay Canelo 150, he didn't want it.
150 mil.
150, he didn't want it.
I mean, he's gonna mess up his legacy a little. It's another loss.
The Mexican monster continues to dismiss much of the praise surrounding Canelo Alvarez, arguing that many of his recent victories have come against opponents he considers more manageable. Benavidez believes Canelo has looked dominant when facing smaller fighters but has shown greater vulnerability against elite competition, often pointing to his loss against Dimitri Bivol as evidence. In Benavidez's opinion, that is the real reason their fight has never materialized. He insists the issue is no longer about accomplishments, titles, or records. Instead, he believes it comes down to the unique problems he brings into the ring. With his size, power, relentless pressure, and non-stop pace, Benavidez is convinced he represents one of the most dangerous challenges Canelo could face at this point in his career.
Of all, you know what I mean? And he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress the little fighters. You know what I mean? So he sees a lot of things in me that he can't stop. You know, not only does he see speed, does he see power, but he sees a lot of heart in me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm going in there and I want to prove myself to the world that I'm the greatest fighter. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't scare me to get in there with another great fighter because I know that elevates me and who I am as a competitor. So that's I know for a fact that he sees in me. At the end of the day, he should have took the fight with me way back then because if he had a chance to beat me, it would have been back.
David Benavidez's confidence extends far beyond simple promotion, and even Max Kellerman has acknowledged the threat he poses. Kellerman considers Benavidez one of the rare fighters capable of pushing Canelo Alvarez into uncomfortable situations and forcing him to deal with sustained pressure throughout a fight. According to Kellerman, Benavidez's aggressive style, exceptional work rate, and ability to constantly move forward creates serious difficulties for any opponent. In his view, those qualities separate Benavidez from many of the fighters currently competing at the highest level and make him one of the most dangerous opponents Canelo could potentially face.
Every time I fight, I'm always winning by a significant amount. You know what I mean? So I'm learning my craft better and better each and every single fight. I'm gaining more confidence every single fight, and like I said, I really want to go in there and hurt people. I'm not a boxer. I'm a warrior, and I go in there, I tear everybody up.
I agree, by the way, with that analysis. I think Canelo's best chance to get you was when you were on your way up. And to be honest, David, I didn't think you took it as seriously then as you do now, the way Floyd caught Canelo on Canelo's way up. Now it's more of a problem. One of the things, guys, real quick, no one's ever beaten Canelo with Benavidez type style. the guys who beat Canelo move, right?
Right.
Who has ever brought it to
that's true.
Canelo,
Yeah.
because he's such a great counterpuncher also, and beaten him?
On one side stands David Benavidez, a relentless pressure fighter known for overwhelming opponents with his pace and volume. On the other is Terence Crawford, a future Hall of Famer who has never been afraid to share his honest opinions. Following his victory over Canelo Alvarez, Crawford sat down with Stephen A. Smith and discussed possible future opponents. When the conversation shifted toward a potential fight with Benavidez, Crawford made a comment that immediately generated headlines throughout the boxing world. He questioned whether Benavidez could still comfortably make the super middleweight limit, casting doubt on whether the matchup could realistically happen and sparking fresh discussion among fans eager to see the two fighters share the ring.
David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
But not now. It's at 175, yeah.
he probably can't even make 168 no more. But when you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, you know, say, all right, you know, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off, you know. And I told him that a long time. I told him that when, you know what I mean, before I fought his brother. And I said, man, dude, you can fight, dude.
Despite questioning whether the fight could be made, Terence Crawford has remained consistent in one area. He believes David Benavidez is an extremely dangerous opponent for anyone competing at the highest level. Crawford has pointed to Benavidez's size, strength, and physical presence as qualities that create major problems throughout the division. He even suggested those advantages may have played a role in why Canelo Alvarez never ended up facing him. According to Crawford, the combination of Benavidez's relentless pressure and imposing style could have presented risks that outweighed the rewards. His remarks have only fueled further debate among fans, many of whom continue to question whether Canelo has been reluctant to face naturally bigger opponents.
I get why Canelo, you know, was like, I don't need to fight this dude because, you know, he can take a punch, he's gonna come in there and gonna just lay on you and bulldoze you, you know.
Right.
And Canelo just didn't want that, you know what I mean, work. But me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability.
Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez remains focused on securing a second fight with Terence Crawford. After coming up short in their first meeting, Canelo appears determined to get another opportunity to reverse the outcome and restore his standing among the sports elite. Reports indicate that he has made his desire for a rematch clear, viewing the rivalry as unfinished business. Canelo has even admitted that hearing speculation about Crawford potentially retiring was disappointing because it could prevent him from settling the score. Motivated to prove that the first result does not define his legacy, Canelo continues to push for a rematch and believes a second encounter would allow him to showcase a different version of himself.
To run it back. That's why my tough. When after the fight, I say we need to run it back this fight because I don't feel the way I really want, and I need to make this fight happen again, no? And it's gonna be different. I think for him to deserve all the credit, he need to give me the rematch, obviously. But he decided to retire, and we need to accept that.
However, Canelo's pursuit of a rematch has received little encouragement from Terence Crawford. Crawford has reportedly made it known that he does not believe Canelo has earned another shot at this stage. Instead, he feels Canelo should focus on strengthening his legacy through other meaningful fights rather than immediately revisiting their rivalry. Crawford remains confident that his style presents unique challenges for Canelo and points to the success he enjoyed in their first fight as proof of that advantage. From his perspective, a second fight would likely produce many of the same problems, which is why he sees little reason to return to the matchup. His stance has only added more fuel to the ongoing debate among boxing fans.
And quite frankly, I don't think it is a rematch clause, and if it is, nothing has been said to me about fighting him again or anything.
Do you think Canelo would want to get back in the ring with you, or do you think it's better for him to just or more lucrative to go fight elsewhere for the rest of his career?
I think it would be better for him to fight somebody else, because my style is just, a bad matchup for him. Now, financially wise, I would be like, yeah, he should fight me, but like on the outside looking in, knowing boxing, you can really get hurt. So I would just tell him, like, if you're gonna continue to fight, I'm getting rid of it.
Meanwhile, the question raised by Terence Crawford continues to generate discussion across the boxing world. Can David Benavidez still make the 168-pound limit? Crawford has expressed skepticism, suggesting that returning to super middleweight may no longer be realistic. Benavidez quickly rejected that claim, insisting he could still make the weight if he chose to do so. Even so, he made it clear that his attention is now focused elsewhere. According to Benavidez, his ambitions no longer revolve around the 168-pound division, and he feels far more comfortable competing at 175 pounds. Rather than looking back, he is targeting major names such as Dmitry Bivol and Artur Beterbiev. As he continues pursuing those challenges, Benavidez has a simple message for anyone standing in front of him. Regardless of reputation, accomplishments, or size, they will still have to deal with a fighter known as the Mexican Monster.
Crawford lived. That's his weight class. I lost interest in 168 a long time ago. You know, I mean, I know that we could get offered a lot of money to go down to 168, but I'm more comfortable at 175. I'm chasing Beterbiev. I'm chasing Bivol. You know, I'm chasing these other bigger. I'm chasing Zurdo Ramirez at cruiserweight. You know what I mean? So I've been at 168, but I have no interest in going down.
Dude's a maniac. Who chases Beterbiev and Bivol? Who chases Beterbiev and Bivol?
Hey,
what's wrong with you?
You're looking at the one that's going to chase all of them. Like, these guys are monsters, but this is the monsters world. We're going to thrive.
At the same time, David Benavidez is preparing for a major showdown with Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, a fight carrying enormous stakes for both men. The matchup has already captured the attention of the boxing world, with Jai Opetaia closely monitoring the outcome as a possible future opponent for Benavidez. Opetaia believes the contest is highly competitive from a technical standpoint, as both fighters possess elite-level skills. However, he feels Ramirez may be at a disadvantage when it comes to hunger and motivation. In Opetaia's view, Benavidez enters every fight with unmatched intensity, fueled by his desire to build his legacy and impose his relentless pressure, qualities that could become a serious problem for Ramirez once the action begins.
It's crazy that there's two light heavyweights fighting for a cruiserweight world title right now, so, you know, they're both coming up from a weight, so it's an even matchup when I see it. You know, I think I don't know too much about Zurdo, to be honest. You know what I mean? He's a good fighter, and you know, I've never thought he was a bad fighter or anything like that. But I I actually like Benavidez's headspace, and he seems like he's got hungry, and he's
When offering his prediction, Jai Opetaia leaned heavily toward David Benavidez emerging victorious against Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Still, he made it clear that his focus extends beyond the result itself. Opetaia believes that once the fight is over, attention will immediately shift toward the next major challenge in the division. He is confident that the outcome could pave the way for a blockbuster future showdown and feels that a fight he has been anticipating for a long time may finally be within reach.
He talks about a journey with his old man, which I don't know much about Zurdo, so I don't want to, I'm not bad-mouthing, but just the legacy of, you know, why he's doing it, and he's just pumped up and he's younger and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm sort of leaning towards Benavidez, but honestly, I don't really care. You know what I mean? I just want this fight to be.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez is already back in the gym, working relentlessly as he prepares for his upcoming clash with Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Determined to leave nothing to chance, he is pushing himself through intense training sessions to ensure every punch carries maximum impact on fight night. Recent footage from camp shows Benavidez operating with tremendous focus and aggression, throwing combinations with bad intentions and maintaining the sharp hand speed that has become one of his trademarks. More importantly, the power behind each shot appears as dangerous as ever. He looks fully locked in, highly motivated, and committed to delivering a statement performance when he steps into the ring. Their upcoming battle is already being viewed as one of the most significant matchups in boxing by those who have closely followed both fighters throughout their careers. Expectations are rising rapidly among fans and analysts, with many predicting a thrilling pay-per-view attraction. A large number of experts favor David Benavidez, citing his advantages in pressure, activity, and overall intensity. Several predictions suggest the fight could evolve into an all-out war where Benavidez's relentless style becomes the deciding factor. While Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez brings championship experience and considerable skill, many analysts question whether he can consistently deal with the non-stop aggression of the Mexican monster over the course of the fight.
Not at all. He will beat Ramirez. Hands are too fast, too tricky, too crafty. He's too busy. Downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, upstairs. David Benavidez is just too good of a fighter.
Combinations. Like, what's wrong with him?
And this is not to discredit Ramirez, who's a real champion. He's a guy that has been a champion in different divisions. He's a big guy. He won't beat Benavidez. David Benavidez will win that fight big. Trust me, I'm saying it now. He'll win that fight massive, which will make the Jai fight even bigger.
I mean, maybe we'll see a different side of Ramirez because, you know, even Benavidez says that their sparring sessions were like, you know, pay-per-views.
If the fight unfolds the way many observers expect, the consequences could be difficult for Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Although both fighters have shared sparring rounds in the past, numerous boxing analysts currently view the matchup as heavily favoring David Benavidez. Some believe Ramirez could find himself under intense pressure from the opening bell, with predictions ranging from an early stoppage to a sustained beating over several rounds. Much of that concern stems from Benavidez's remarkable combination of volume, power, and relentless pace once he establishes his rhythm. As a result, many continue to regard him as one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport and a difficult opponent to confidently pick against.
Calling it like I see it, I'm not going to be politically correct anymore. I'm going to be respectful, but I'm going to say there's no way Ramirez is beating David Benavidez, and I'm saying it flat out. And I'm not saying it to not tune in. Anything can happen in that fight, but this is what's going to happen.
I mean, everybody's going to be leaning that way, so that's not nothing.
No, I'm saying it's not going to be competitive. It won't be competitive.
Damn, not even competitive?
No, not at all. Not at all. In no
so
round.
Is he going to get blown out in the first round?
He's just going to get either blown out of the first round or washed.
Gabe Rosado, a two-time world title challenger who has spent time sparring both David Benavidez and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, has provided valuable insight ahead of their highly anticipated clash. Having worked alongside Benavidez since his younger years and later trained with Ramirez at the Wild Card Boxing Club, Rosado has first-hand knowledge of both fighters' strengths. According to him, each man possesses excellent technical skills, but their approaches inside the ring are noticeably different. Rosado explained that Benavidez immediately stands out because of his intensity, constant pressure, and physical presence. Ramirez, by comparison, tends to operate with a more measured and calculated style. That contrast remains one of the most intriguing aspects of the matchup.
Man, I lost count how many times I've sparred those dudes because I've been sparring Benavidez since he was like 15 when I used to do my training camps in Arizona, in Phoenix. So I would work with him, and then he eventually then would come to Wild Card, and then we'd work at Wild Card. And same with Zurdo. But, you know, the difference I would say is, you know, Zurdo is more, he's more on working on things, you know what I'm saying? And Benavidez is just more, you know, he goes aggressive, you know what I'm saying? And Zurdo does like 10 rounds of sparring. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, Benavidez.
Yeah, okay,
Benavidez does. So, yeah, man, I think the intensity is just different.
Rosado also highlighted Benavidez's exceptional work rate in training camp, noting that he regularly maintains a demanding pace through long and grueling sessions that can extend for up to 10 rounds. In his opinion, that level of output separates him from Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, who places greater emphasis on timing, technical adjustments, and controlled execution. Rosado believes this stylistic contrast is a major reason many analysts favor Benavidez heading into the fight. He feels Ramirez must arrive in outstanding condition, remain disciplined, and execute a near-perfect game plan if he hopes to neutralize Benavidez's pressure, power, and non-stop activity.
We always had good rhythm working together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was very similar to each other. So, but yeah, man, it's really good, man. I think it's a tough fight. I think, shit, man, you know, you got to favor Benavidez just because of the volume.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The volume. And I think Zurdo's going to have to be on his A game. Like, it's going to have to be the best Zurdo in order for him to beat Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to really box well, stick a jab out there.
David Benavidez appears to be operating at full strength once again, focused, motivated, and determined to prove why he is considered one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing. While he continues calling for a showdown with Canelo Alvarez, respected figures throughout the sport, including Terence Crawford, have acknowledged the threat he presents. Now, with Gilberto Ramirez standing across from him, another major challenge awaits. Analysts, trainers, and former sparring partners continue to point toward Benavidez's speed, power, and relentless aggression as key advantages. The biggest question remains the same. Can anyone truly stop the Mexican monster? Let us know your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more boxing news, updates, and fight breakdowns.